Now, question, a lot of people are asking, are we going to have a white Christmas this year? Some people are dreaming of it, and there's one man that we trust to ask, and that is Dave King, the weatherman. There he is joining us from his home in Kent. Dave, love to see that you're looking Christmassy. You've obviously pulled a cracker already.
Yes, I have. Lovely to see you both. Thanks for having me.
Lovely to see you, Dave. So that's the big question. Are we going to have a white Christmas? What do you think?
Well, if you poke your head outside, it's raining, and that's what we're going to get this time next week for Christmas Day, except that north of the Humber, it's going to be a bit colder, and there's a distinct possibility that you may get a smattering of snow north of the Humber.
North of the Humber.
Yeah, but certainly south of the Norwich to Birmingham line, forget it. It's going to be wet.
OK.
Now, as you all know, I work on the moons, and the moon changes on the 21st. Also, that day, Saturn and Jupiter are joining together, first time for 200 years. So if you look in the sky, you'll see that. But the moon for the 21st, right the way through to the new year, is, if cold enough, snow. So you never say never, having been caught out before.
Yeah.
But rain is the main thing that we're looking at.
Yeah. Dave, it's getting harder for any of us to predict the weather. One day it's miserable and cold, next day it's wet, the next day the sun is shining. Is it getting harder for you?
No, because nature compensates, and nature is working 90 days ahead. I had lots of emails in the autumn, especially down the West Country in Wales, asking why so many berries and fruits there are. Well, the answer is quite simple. Nature 90 days ago prepared for the rain they've got in the West Country in Wales today, and they've raised everything up off the ground. Sadly, birds don't swim, so nature has moved everything up in the trees. And if you follow nature, forget all this about jet streams and all that. Our forefathers never had jet streams. They looked at the trees and the plants and the birds and the animals. You keep an eye on those and you'll have the weather quite easily.
But are the trees and the animals not keeping their eyes on the jet stream?
No, they don't bother about things like that. They're quite happy. Our forefathers 1,000 years ago didn't have any of our modern technology, and they all survived. The church bell rang in the morning and they went to work. The church bell rang in the evening and they came home. And they could predict the weather 6 months ahead with absolute ease.
Well, thank you for predicting the week ahead. And it's basically going to be wet for most of us on Christmas Day. But there we are.
It'll be cold.
What?
It'll certainly be colder. You see, at the moment it's 11 degrees, and it should be between a top bubble of 7. So you can see we've got a long way to go. But I think for Christmas Day, 4 degrees to 6 degrees would be top bubble.
Okay. I loved the 3 degrees on a Christmas Day. They were brilliant. They were brilliant in the 70s. And Dave, could I just say, nice tree, mate. A lot of colour going on there. A lot of coloured lights and tinsel. Looking good.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, it's a fibre optic tree.
Oh,
my favourite. My favourite. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dave King. Happy
Merry
Christmas.
Happy Christmas to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you very much.
Bye-bye. Bye, Dave.